Hello, my nutrition friends. I am coming at you on the Sunday before the third week of the Nutrition Challenge starts. Congratulations on making it halfway through. I hope that by now, this time, anything new for you is starting to feel like a habit, and perhaps some things that you have already been doing are more solid habits. This week, we are adding a third serving of vegetables per day. So what that means is you can obviously have vegetables 3 times a day if you want to, or you can do, 2 servings at dinner and 1 serving at lunch, or however you want to space that out. So 3 servings of vegetables per day. We're going to keep all of the other habits we've been working on. So keep that protein with every meal and snack. Keep on getting those 7 hours of sleep at night or more. Keep on doing those 30 minutes of movement per day. And keep on drinking that water so that you are well hydrated. So the other thing that we're adding this week is practicing 5 minutes of stress management. So that task is going to appear on your things to do tomorrow on your app. And I just want to remind you that if you swipe to the right, there will be a list of different ways that you can practice stress management. And I believe there's even a video in there that has some ideas and tips. But I also wanted to share with you a couple of things as well. So the number one way to practice stress management is to get physical activity, which you guys are already doing because you're getting that 30 or more minutes per day as part of your daily tasks. And then the second best way to practice stress management is to follow a healthy diet, which you're also doing. So fantastic, nice work. But those two things don't count because you're already doing them. So here's a couple other suggestions for you. You can choose to minimize your screen time, and that might help with the sleep situation because if you can create that buffer of space between when you use your screen and when you go to bed, then that also helps you to go into that sleep state a little bit easier. So minimizing your screen time, maybe shut that screen off an extra 5 minutes earlier before you go to bed so that that helps to release some of your stress. Another way would be to practice self-care. So self-care could look like something like going for outside in nature, like maybe you're going for a walk, maybe for a bike ride, spending time with your loved ones without the distractions of a screen. It could be something like lighting candles because that's a relaxing activity. It could be something like taking a bath. It could be reading a book for pleasure instead of for work. It could be drawing if that's something that you enjoy doing. It could be practicing a hobby that you don't usually take time for, or maybe even learning a new hobby. Or it could be stretching, doing some yoga. I will be sending out a yoga before bed video a little bit later this week. You could do something practical for yourself, like reduce your caffeine intake, maybe stopping your caffeine intake by 2 in the afternoon would be a real positive tool towards going to bed better and also reducing your stress. You can, I think I mentioned this before, but spending time with people that you love that's undistracted by stress. So maybe having a conversation that is encouraging to you. And another way would be practice gratitude. I think I have an article going to you later this week on how to do that, practical tips on that. But basically it looks something like if you enjoy journaling, you could write it down, or maybe you could just say it out loud to somebody, thinking of 3 things each day that you are thankful for. That in and of itself reminds us of what we already have, as opposed to what we always focusing on what we want, but just really being thankful for what we already have. Another one would be to spend time with your pet. If you have a pet, sometimes it just helps to spend time with that little furry animal. And then the last one that I'm going to suggest to you that you think about is to practice deep breathing. And I'm going to send out a video here in just a couple minutes that would take you through this thing called box breathing. And you can watch the video and that you might find that helpful also. You don't have to try out all of these things. Maybe pick 1 or 2 to try out and working towards self-care, working towards stress management, and working towards recognizing when something is causing you stress, stopping it in its tracks, and doing something to make that a more positive experience. So I'd love to help you through any of this. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. If you're having a hard time with this particular task and you need to have a phone call with me, that would be fine also. So you guys are doing great. I am proud of you for all the progress that you've made, and I look forward to seeing who wins the second week, having checked off the most of the tasks. So send me any questions that you have, and have a great week.